Our gathering song this morning is number 188 in the gray hymnal in the chair in front of you. Come, come, whoever you are, number 188, and we'll sing it twice. Oh yes, please rise, embody your spirit. Thanks for reminding me. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come, 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 whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. One more time. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Salem, Oregon. If you thought you were somewhere else, well, now's your chance to, make a change. When you first go into, never mind. I'm Janet, and I'll be your celebrant today. The Reverend Rick, who is our minister, is not in the pulpit today, and Gregg, who is a member of our Homilist and Storytellers team, will be sharing his thoughts and insights with us today. We are a people of faith, a community searching for truth, a gathering of people who support each other on their journeys, a group of loving, compassionate souls seeking answers and embracing all possibilities. And we hope that you will stick around after the service and join us for some coffee and goodies so we can get to know you better. Welcome. I'm going to ask Barbara to put up the affirmation. Thank you. I would like you to take a moment to read this through. We'll just have like a minute of silence and let you read it all the way from top to bottom. We say this each week as kind of a promise to each other. So if these words have meaning for you, please speak them with me. Love is our doctrine. Compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration. Build a community of caring fellowship, nurture the hopes, and serve the needs of our world.
I believe in prophecy. Some folks see things not everybody can see. And once in a while they pass the secret along to you and me. And I believe in miracles. Something sacred burning in every bush and tree. We can all learn to sing the songs the angels sing. And I believe in God, but God ain't me. I've traveled around the world, stood on mighty mountains and gazed across the wilderness. Never seen a line in the sand or a diamond in the dust. And as our fate unfurls, every day that passes, I'm sure about a little bit less. And even my money keeps telling me it's God I need to trust. And I believe in God, but God ain't us. God in my little understanding, don't care what name I call. And whether or not I believe doesn't matter at all. I receive the blessings that every day on earth's another chance to get it right. Let this little light of mine shine and rage against the night. Just another lesson. Maybe someone's watching, wondering what I got. And maybe this is why I'm here on earth, maybe not. But I believe in God. God is God. Oh, I believe in God. God is God.
Okay, now I'm going to ask Gregg to help me light the chalices. Thank you, Marcia. Here at UUCS, we light 3 chalices when we begin church each Sunday. The first is for this congregation, its friends and members. The second is for our partner church in Šimanfalva, Transylvania, Romania. And the third is for our children and youth in RE and around the world. We light these chalices to symbolize the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment. We light them as a symbol of our gathered community and the divine spark in each of us. Let's join together to sing the flame into life.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
Good morning. Can everybody young or young at heart please join me up front? Yeah. Good morning. Hi, have a seat. Good morning. Hi. Hi there. So, this month, we're talking about courage. Courage to do things, courage within ourselves. Last week, we talked about our superpowers. And we have a special poem that Joey's going to read for us today. And I'm going to help him.
If I Was a Superhero by Sally Gray. If I was a superhero, I'd definitely fly. Arms outstretched, racing birds in the sky. If I was a superhero, I'd special power. I would like extra strong legs, far jumping over towers. If I was a superhero, I would save all the oceans with my secret and magical cleaning up potions. If I was a superhero, I'd save all the trees and the mountains and rivers, the birds and the bees. I'd help all the poor, give them food, and make them hungry no more. If I was a superhero, I'm sure you'll agree the world would be better because of me.
Good job. Thank you, Joey. All right. Thank you so much. All right, if we can stand up in the middle, please, to create the love arch, the children and us will be on our way.
Wherever you walk, walk in love. Wherever you walk, walk in peace. Wherever you walk in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you. Wherever you walk, walk in love. Wherever you walk in peace. Wherever you walk in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you.
Often when I need to find just the right words to express deep feelings, such as compassion and gratitude, I turn to the Reverend Fred Rogers, one of my very favorite people. He said, as human beings, our job in life is to help people realize how rare and valuable each one of us really is. That each of us has something that no one else has or ever will have. Something inside that is unique to all time. It's our job to encourage each other to discover that uniqueness and to provide ways of developing its expression. Hear, hear. I believe that appreciation is a holy thing. That when we look for what's best in a person, the person that we happen to be with at that moment, we're doing what God does all the time. So in loving and appreciating our neighbor, we are participating in something sacred.
Good morning. Lorna Youngs with Lifelines Lay Ministry. And I'm here to tell you what the joys and concerns are that have been recorded this week. There's two ways in which you can share your joys and concerns. One is to go to our website, hit the button for joys and concerns. It'll take you directly into a form. Or every Sunday we have this black book up in the foyer, and you can write your joy and concern. So today we have no joys and concerns from the website, but we have several that have been written in the book, and I will start with the concerns. From Marcia Christensen, a beautiful but stillborn baby delivered to a young mom. Young couple, it's their first baby. It's so hard. Keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. And Leslie Zeigen writes, pray for my nephew Peter, who's had emergency surgery on Friday night. And Jack Simmons writes, please remember our friend Chris Kiefer, who has had brain surgery. God bless him. And then we have a joy from Barbara Stebbins-Bowes and Bob Muir. We are happy to share that our children and grandchildren have settled well into the Netherlands. Laurelyn and Johnny bike with Marin and Elliot back and forth across their town. Harlem, okay, for school. Bob and I rode one with him. It was exhilarating. They send their love to their friends here. And Lifelines Lay Ministry is a group of individuals who help the minister, give a little extra care and TLC, if you will, to those of you in need. So please contact us, either by getting a hold of one of us members with our lavender badges, or going to the email and either call the office or email Lifelines Lay Ministry. And this Sunday is the second Sunday of the month, in which we have Compassionate Connection, which means those of you who have just a little extra difficulty going on in your life, please join us up at the front of the church. And as members of the Lifelines Lay Ministry and the minister will return back to the minister's office, and we'll just talk about what's going on and how we can give you a little extra help in a time of need. Thank you.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
I'm curious to know what you believe about what is the best food. Think about it for a moment. Now, I believe that for many of you, perhaps even most of you, the food you believe is best today will not be what you believe is best for the rest of your life. I believe it's very possible that that best food will get knocked down from its throne and replaced by a different food, a new best food. We as Unitarian Universalists really value the freedom each of us has to believe about things, not just the things like what we think is the best food, but about bigger things, like why are we here? What's the meaning of our lives? What is most important and valuable to me? How can I be most true to the purpose I see for my being alive in the world. We affirm the freedom to believe what we choose about these things, but we also have the responsibility to work out those beliefs with thought and care and what our hearts and minds tell us is right. Thank goodness we don't have to do this all by ourselves. No, we are fortunate to have one another to help us try out our beliefs. It's like we can offer one another tastes of ideas we feel are true. It's like together we bring our best food to share at a potluck. Each of us bring our treasured beliefs to share with one another here in the congregation. We can put several on our plates. First, the ones we're confident that we like. And then maybe we can go back for seconds, for a chance to try something that our friends recommend as really yummy. And sometimes those new yummy tastes will become favorites. So I encourage you to share with each other what you believe is the best food. Or perhaps even more fun, what you believe is the worst.
Hi. I've been warned if I blow this, there's tomatoes in my future. My name is Gregg, Gregg or Fafa for short. A few years ago, I was living in a little house directly across Bush Park from the hospital, which was convenient because I was working as an RN at the hospital. The house next door had a lush lawn in the backyard. I mean, really lush, except for a rut that ran around all the way around the yard and went a diagonal rut that went right straight diagonally across it from corner to corner. It turned out that the neighbor had a dog who patrolled the yard from the time they left in the morning until they came home. That dog must have made that trip hundreds of times a day. I did a little research and discovered a kind of instinctive behavior called path behavior. And it occurs in territorial animals. Almost all animals are territorial, including humans. We tend to establish a path to and from places that we frequent. And the advantage of that is we come to know the way well as all the little hidey holes, the places we can hide along the way in case of danger. I think much of our thought processes now also follow well-worn paths. Sometimes we find ourselves building paths, mental paths that lead nowhere because they are built on faulty information or observations. Mental paths can be handy, but mental paths are also ruts that limit our spontaneity, our creativity, and the directions our lives can take. Now, speaking of paths, every day I would walk to the hospital to and from work at the hospital through Bush Park. And I especially liked the walk in the springtime because there was always a camas lily bloom, and it was like walking home through clouds of blue clouds. One day, when the camas lilies were no longer in bloom, I was walking down my dirt path through the park when I saw a little bird lying on its back with its feet sticking straight up in the air. I guess I could have walked on by, but I felt leaving it like that would not be showing much respect for that poor little life. So I found a dead stick, or a flat stick, and managed to dig out a hole in the dirt beside the path. The dirt was hard, and It took some time and effort, and I didn't want it to be so shallow that a dog would come along and dig him up right away. So when the grave was deep enough, I looked around for some kind of marker so I could remember where he was when I walked the path. There was nothing around, so I had to go down to Pringle Creek to get a rock big enough to be noticeable. Stumbling along the creek bank, I started to feel like the funeral director for Little Wild Creatures. When I finally found the perfect rock, I carried it back and looked over the grave site with its little pile of loose dirt. And when I was satisfied everything was ready, I went back to get the bird. When I bent over to pick it up, I discovered that what I took for a bird was really a dead branch. To be fair, I was tired. It'd been a long night. And the little branches were sticking up exactly like two little bird feet. And the rough bark looked a lot like feathers. I may even have had a tear or two in my eye from laughing at my mistake, but I got over it quickly. Yes, I was a bit relieved that it wasn't really a dead bird, but because I had prepared such a nice little cemetery plot for him, rather than waste my effort, I went ahead and buried the stick with due ceremony. And I marked the grave anyway. Then I went home and went to bed and didn't think anything more about it. But since I had to pass that marker to and from work every day, it became a daily reminder of the fallibility of my perceptions and reminded me to look twice and question what I think I know. That was a good thing for my patience. It's a shame that we don't have more monuments to all the false beliefs that we belatedly find we have fallen into based on what we think is good information. The monuments that result from our misinterpretations of our own senses deserve especially large monuments, because while we are often misled by others, we tend to cling even more tightly to the misinformation of our own senses. As I get older, I have come to realize how much really bad information comes from the senses I have trusted my whole life. Important things, like when my wife reminds me to do something. Once I was having a talk with her about our plans for the day, and she reminded me that I had bone duty. I didn't remember signing up for bone duty, whatever that was, so I asked her, "Bone duty?" She kindly repeated for me, "Phone Judy." The quest for truth is not so much in vogue these days, but not questioning belief opens the door to many of the worst results of trusting our illusions. When false belief is socially accepted as truth, it is what shapes our world. Many Americans remain in denial about the reality of climate change, and while I tend to cringe when I hear people, especially educated people, denying science, experience has shown that, like the evidence of our senses, science is not always right. But scientists are also quick to adapt when new evidence shows that the theory is wrong. Nothing is written in stone. The fourth principle of Unitarian Universalism rejects the denial approach to finding truth and places the responsibility for truth and meaning on the individual. Those who accept that responsibility are spiritual seekers, and we have to acknowledge that there is a chance that climate change is a dead stick lying in our path. But given the multiple looming disasters with which we are faced these days, that possibility seems progressively small. Those who represent us in government and who have the power to address the problems of climate change appear willing to watch as this catastrophe develops without mounting a significant defense because it's cheaper and politically more expedient to do little or nothing. The little our government has done will not avert the failure of our power grid, the failure of food supplies, or diminish our vulnerability to extreme weather events, which will come with increasing frequency. This is the dark side. I'm not done with the dark side yet. The better side comes later. If we look at the last few years locally, we can see how overwhelming and costly these events can be. Here in Oregon, we have seen toxic algal blooms which have made city water undrinkable for weeks at a time, ice storms and windstorms that knock out power to thousands, resulting in inability to maintain heat in the winter or cool in the summer. Our food spoils without refrigeration. Internet communication systems fail. Many events lead to closures of highways and streets. Fires leave thousands homeless. Pandemics overwhelm our healthcare system. And of course, drought and floods destroy the food supplies we depend upon. What else could possibly go wrong? This brings me to the bright side. And to my answer to Reverend Rick's question about a vision for our Unitarian Universalist congregation. I see there is an unmet responsibility for preparing our community to be resilient when disaster inevitably strikes. Whether we are prepared or not, community response will fall on those who are guided by truth and science. At UU, we are already exploring ways we can both provide for our congregation and serve the greater community in the event of a disaster. If you are concerned about the future and want to be part of our community response, the social justice team would welcome your participation. Currently, we're exploring the possible creation of a resiliency hub, which would provide emergency resources to the community, but also would require us to expand our social justice group and create a network with other churches in the community. In addition, we're exploring ideas about reducing food insecurity by demonstrating how small, easy-to-tend, low-cost gardens can supplement our individual and community food supplies. And most of all, we need folks with ideas who want to make a difference. No one church can do everything, but Unitarian Universalists are in a good position to act as leaders. In forming a church-based resiliency hub, the values of our congregation are not at odds with the professed values of any of the other religions, other faith-based churches. And because we have an imperative to do what needs to be done, we can work with other churches without ideological conflict. Working together to promote community preparedness also serves our sixth principle, the goal of global community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Being prepared for local disasters reduces fear and can be instrumental in changing the impulse to deny any reality that makes us feel powerless. When I buried my dead stick in the park, I had no intention of teaching myself a lesson. But while my monument to a false belief initially seemed without value, it served a purpose I had not anticipated. Something as timely and needed as a resiliency hub does not depend on the reality of climate change. If we're wrong and we wind up burying a dead stick, disasters are still inevitable, and nothing we do can be wasted. Not everyone is an organizer, worker, or leader, but each of us has ideas or something we can do. We look forward to seeing more members of the congregation at the next social justice meeting. Life be with us and in us. And remember these words by Mahatma Gandhi. Without action, you aren't going anywhere. Thank you for listening.
take a minute and think about the things that we can do to benefit our community in ways that you think that you can be a part of that action. Thank you. The offering is a tangible symbol of our commitment to this community, to our higher ideals, to each other, and to this free faith. Our Share the Plate partner for October is Habitat and Hope Village. HHV is a nonprofit organization and an affiliated ministry of UUCS. Its mission is to provide shelter for those experiencing homelessness. As always, we also accept donations to Mary and Pogue Food Share in the wagon that's coming to the front of the sanctuary. Donations may be made during the passage of the baskets or by logging onto uusalem.org and following the prompts. This morning's offering will be now gratefully received.
You call me out into the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. I will call upon your name, keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. I will call upon your name, keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of of my Savior. I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine.
Marcia, thank you so much for offering your music today and for accompanying our hymns. Next Sunday, we have the Reverend Bonnie Tarwater with us. She's always a joy to have with us, and she's going to be speaking on the Confessions of a Disciple of Jesus. So that should be really interesting. So we have some other upcoming things. On the 30th, which is obviously going to be kind of Halloween time or Day of the Dead or All Hallows Eve or however you want to put it, we're going to be appreciating our ancestors, which is traditional at that time of year. So what they'd like you to give information about is how did your ancestors come to the U.S. and stories about just how you got here and pictures and all those things. So you can just go ahead and send them to Sarah at uusalem.org. And Sarah is in the back of the sanctuary if you have more questions, and you can talk to her. And, oh yeah, the reminder that we do have a cozy corner. So if you have a young child with you, or any other person, who's having trouble sitting still and paying attention in service and needs some walking around time, that we do have a cozy corner over in the fellowship hall in the corner. I was trying to remember north, south, east, and west, but I wasn't able to do it, sorry. There's, sorry, the northwest corner. Anyway, here you're always going to get an answer. So that's the closed circuit television is showing this service while the service is going on. So you can go over there. You can continue to watch while somebody you care about has a chance to move around and is not disturbing to the other people in the service. So anyway, that's a great option. There's a lot going on in our community. And I have a special one, and please, please, no stampede right now. There are 5 tickets available to the Delgani String Quartet next Saturday at 7:30. I'm guessing this is going to be really, really cool concert. And so if you want to just see Reverend Rick after the service, I believe it's a first-come, first-served basis. And if you don't know who Reverend Rick is, he's standing back there in the corner, waving his hands. So there's a lot going on in this community, a lot more, and it would take all day for me to tell you about it. So please go to our website, uusalem.org, or you can sign up for, and there you can do it, sign up for our communications, our Facebook, our newsletter. There's just a lot of ways to get the information, and we hope you participate in many of the activities of our organization. So, Greg, can you help me with the social justice lantern?
With the what?
With the social justice lantern.
Oh, yes.
So each week, we light this lantern to symbolize how all of you, as members of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Salem and friends, take the light of our community and share it out into the world. And now we must extinguish our chalices. but we don't extinguish the light and warmth of the covenant we share. Each of us carries the light within ourselves, and I hope that you will share it generously with everyone you meet in the week ahead. May it be so. And it looks like it doesn't want to go out.
Our closing hymn is number 318, either in the gray hymnal in front of you, or if you can read it on the screen. Number 318, We Would Be One. Please rise in body and spirit and sing this together. We would be one, as now we join in singing our hymn of love, to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
Please remain standing and join hands if you're comfortable with that. And we'll say our closing words together. May faith in the spirit of life, hope for the community of earth, and love for the sacred in one another be ours now and in all the days to come.